Hello everyone, Hourglass Eyes here, and today we're finally taking our second look at the Kershaw Lucha CF 5150. So, I wanted to flip this thing for a while, really kind of sort out how I felt about it before making a review. I know I talked about it a couple times, so this is going to be more of just a quick review. So, we'll start things off. Handle thickness. While it looks pretty thin because of the titanium, my phone will focus. Come on. Well, the handles look thin, but they're actually, there we go. See, they look kind of thin, the titanium liners do. But the actual thickness of the knife is fairly good. It feels good in your hands flipping. It doesn't feel like it's super thin like the Flytanium Lucha. The Flytanium Lucha handles, they felt like they were just too thin for me. So I didn't like that. The blade shape is different from the original Lucha. See, it's more flat on the edge here. The original Lucha had like this really sharp swedge, and I want to say it was wider too. But I like this blade shape. It reminds me a lot of the Benchmade 51. As a matter of fact, I kind of joked about it, but a lot of this knife reminds me of a Benchmade 51. With the way that the handle cutouts feel here, the scales, and the thickness of it, and the way it's balanced, it just feels like a way bigger Benchmade 51, which is not a bad thing. The Benchmade 51 is a great, well, it's a great EDC bally. It's not the best flipping bally, but I mean, you can get a 51 flipping pretty good, so that's good. Let's see what else. It is a bit strange to flip because of the ball bearings. So the bearing bushing system is a little strange for me. It's not like my Rideworks Omeme. That bally is really predictable. Now, it could just be a difference in the ball bearings or the weight of this thing. But sometimes this thing swings a little too well for me, and I end up dropping it, like right there. Or it doesn't quite do what I'm expecting it to do. Not that it's bad, it just takes more getting used to than all of the well-tuned bushing knives I have. So, if you were to get this and flip this as like your first good bally, I don't think you would really notice. I think you would just get used to how it moves. You know, it's one of those things where every bally kind of moves differently, flips differently, has a different feel, and just this one takes me a little bit more time to get used to. Not that I don't like it, it just, when I pick this up, there are certain tricks that I get nervous about doing because I'm not sure. I have to practice them more. Like, I can still do things like that, my reverse shortstop. This thing actually does those really well. It fans really good. You can see I do a lot of fans in my combos. So, it does that fairly well, but the carbon fiber does kind of help with that, the grippiness. I don't know. I'm sucking at flipping right now. I just woke up. Let me see. It does. Yeah, here's another trick that I can do with it, but it takes me a minute to like figure it out. The Z choker, which I normally do really easily, I struggle with this one. I don't do it very well with this. Yeah. The handles just have a lot of slip right here for me. With the barrel spacers, there's nothing to really grip. So it could be a con for me, but it's not really a con of the knife. So I don't know. Why don't we talk about cons now? So con number one is kind of opinionated, but I don't care much for the titanium color, the blue. It looks alright. It would have been nice if they offered anodized versions in different colors, like a purple one, maybe a green one, and then the blue one, and then like a fade. That could be cool. It does open up the door for customizations. If you really like the way this looks, then this could be a really cool Bally to customize, and somebody in the future will probably make different spacer kits for it. So a con for some of you will be the ball bearing system. The bearing pivots are not for everybody. I get that. So that could be a con. It's not exactly a con for me because I have bearing Ballies, but this one, it's definitely a different bearing Bally to what I'm used to. Here's sort of a pro, but I like the pivot system, or the pivot screws rather. I think those are nice. They are semi-Loctited from factory. Not that I think that's really a problem, but just beware when you're taking the latch off that there is Loctite. So, if you don't want to strip anything, heat it up first. The latch is a big con. Take it off immediately. Hate the latch. Take it off. Take all the pins for the latch out while you're at it too. See, there's no pins. All right. Take them out. You don't need them. They will only rattle and annoy you. Take them out. Take the latch off. This thing gets way more lively without it. Possible con, but a pro for me. But this knife is long. I mean, it is a longer Bally, and I like that. I like when Ballies are like big stick, and there's just more to move around. And it makes flipping feel a lot better. It makes the tricks feel a lot more responsive. I don't know. Just a little tidbit there. Ooh, slammed it that time. So I guess since I've been dropping it a couple times on video, I ought to talk about its durability. This thing is mad durable, okay? I have dropped this thing on concrete. I have been flipping it really hard and dropping it really hard because trying to get used to it. And I've dropped the tip on concrete more than a few times, and the tip, come on, focus. It doesn't want to focus. Maybe if I make it look at the Kershaw logo. See the tip there? If I can stop shaking. Tip there is pretty unscathed. It might have dulled a little bit, but it hasn't chipped. So this thing's got a pretty durable setup. Carbon fiber hasn't broken or cracked. That might be something to be aware of, but mine hasn't, so I think it's good there. The ano is okay. The ano is pretty good on mine. I've heard people that say it rubs off, it chips off, it's like paint, but the ano on mine is great. I don't have any issues, so no issues there. Yeah, this thing came razor sharp out the box. I did happen to kind of nick myself with it the first day I was flipping it. So I know that it has accepted me as its owner. And throw it around. It likes to be abused. So, with all that being said, look, still no tap, no play. So this thing is pretty good. That's one of the major upsides to bearing knives is you can abuse the shit out of them and still have no tap and no play and good flipping. So let's kind of wrap this up. The price on this thing. I've seen a lot of comments about it being expensive for what it is. And Well, maybe that's true. I got mine for 280 on Blade HQ. So for 280, I would say this is worth it. This is a really good Bally for 280. You just gotta flip it for a little bit to get used to how the longer handles with the ball bearings will work, right? It's not bad. It's just like my my old Covenant. My Max Ace Covenant was the same way. It's a long Bally with an awkward blade shape, so it takes a minute to get used to. But there's nothing actually wrong with it. So this falls under that category. If you want one, if you like the lucha, you would probably really like this. This flips a lot better than the lucha. The standard lucha, I mean. I think the handles are better suited for it than like the fly tie handles, the Flytanium aluminum handles, anything like that. I think this is a step in a better direction. The tie with the scales to boost its thickness, because when you make handles too thin, it kind of can get irritating to fan. So, do I recommend it? If you can find it for like 280, under 300, yes. If you can only find it for 300, that's more up to you. I would still say if you can afford it, get it. It's a really cool Bally. But yeah, that's it. So, I really like this thing. I'll probably be keeping it around for a while. We'll see how things go, but if you like this video, comment, subscribe, like, all that, blah, blah, blah. If you didn't like this video, then you can comment why you didn't like it, and I can try to make it better so you would like it. Or if you just don't like me, then you don't have to watch my videos at all. Crazy how that works, right? But anyway, I'm out. Peace.